It's me again, your humble observer of weather phenomenon. And I'm looking at some really incredible stuff that's happening right now. Two things, actually. And so I'm going to start. We are at, this was yesterday. And I want to start here for a very specific reason. Also, we are at an altitude and this is pressure again. This is not altitude here, but this altitude is about cloud height, right? So this is what the meteorologists look at when we look at weather patterns and what's going on, right? So I'm going to start out. See, things look pretty normal, but actually it's not. I'll come back to the U.S. in just a moment. Really quickly, I don't have a lot of time today. I want to talk about the fact that, all right, here's the North Pole right at my cursor. And you see the weather system. This is like a jet stream type of air. If I went up in the atmosphere, you'd see it even more strong coming down and mixing with the jet stream that's coming across in this hump, which I recorded in an earlier video. And that's pushing up over the northeastern U.S., across the northern Atlantic, and hitting Europe really, really hard with cold weather. But the force of this, and you can see like the wind speed, 76 miles an hour. You can even see how it's picking up here in areas on the other side of France, 86 miles an hour. But look at what it's doing to this. This is a normal current coming down again from the North Pole region, the Arctic, but it's being interrupted by by these systems. This is a high pressure and this is a low pressure, and just being conveyor belted into the jet stream and shooting right into Ireland and England right now. So they're getting really cold weather. And this is just like a strange anomaly that is just pummeling Europe. In fact, you look at this. It's coming down across France. There's Italy. And it droops way down, right? So this is Africa, North Africa. And it pops back up again. Well, it's driving right over, like Israel is here. This is Turkey. So that's how far this North Pole wind, you can see it coming down from this perspective, flowing way low, and then popping up all of a sudden and going back up where it should be. Anyway, to anyone in Europe, you got some interesting weather going on there, but that's not what I really created this video for. I really wanted to focus on this very unique system, and I set the stage by pointing out this northern flow coming south from the North Pole, and you can see it's mixing with the jet stream, which is coming here and humping down and giving us really cold weather, all from Texas all the way across in this unusual weather pattern. But North Pole weather coming in, going this way. Look at that. See that line? It's just slamming right into it. All right. What's on the other side of this line? Well, this is Africa. This is the equator. All right, so follow these lines. We've got, right, weather from way south, even go further in the equator, right? See it looping up and slamming. So we've got weather from the equator, really warm air, hitting weather from the North Pole and just slamming together right here off of, I guess this would be Georgia, South Carolina border, coastline. And I'm going to step through and show you what that does. All right, it's starting to create an oscillation. We're getting a little low pressure zone. All right, look at this. 1, 2, 3 little cells. Now we're focusing on 2. This one's breaking up, but look at the wind speeds. I mean, we're already, and here we are. We're 7 o'clock last night. And we're showing 81 miles per hour wind speed. Now that's technically, if we were in the middle of hurricane season, that would be like hurricane speed with 2 cells, which means we're forming a superstorm. Those will eventually combine and make one huge storm, which they do. Let's keep watching. And I'm going to step right on through. Look at it go. One more time. So where are we now? We're on 4 a.m. Today. Okay, and look at how this is developed, and the pressure in this system is dropping really, really fast. And instead of having a hurricane form over here off Africa and come across, it just sprung up out of nowhere. Let's go forward again. Oh, I went forward a whole day. back up. All right, let's get to about where we are now. Here's where we are now, and look at what's happened. So between last night and today, current time, this is what we've got, and we're talking about 104 mile an hour winds. Look at the top end here, 103 mile an hour winds. Look at the width of this insane wind speed, right? Way out here, 80 miles an hour. That's hundreds and hundreds of miles. We now have a single cell, and we're still pulling air from way down on the Caribbean here up into this, and look at the flow coming from the North Pole. All right, this is at cloud height. So North Pole, equator, still feeding this storm and just creating an incredible superstorm. And you can see this is intensifying across Europe at this point. And as we move forward, it only gets like worse, right? So here we are, 100 mile an hour, 108 mile an hour winds. Look at the width of this thing. So insanely, and of course, if we zoom in, here is the Cape Cod. So we got Massachusetts and so forth, very northeastern United States, just getting pummeled with what I can only imagine. And I haven't looked at the weather forecast up there, but it's got to be, incredible snow, very cold probably, and this mix of really warm air, really cold air just creates all kinds of unpredictable sort of scenarios. So the meteorologists I've been looking into and seeing what they're saying, and they're just in awe. I don't know. I mean, I can't say it's never happened before, but the pressure drop and the difference in the temperature of the cold air versus the warm temperature of the warm air is so significant here that this is an interesting storm. I don't know, and you can predict out in the future, and this model will go ahead, and you can just look at that. Oh my God. So anyway, we don't really know what it's going to do at this point. There's too many factors here. Something like this, you can see how big it's getting, and so forth, and you can see how it's just raking. This is now Canada, right? So we're just raking water off the ocean and pushing it over land in an area that's very, very cold right now. So anyway, I just thought I'd share these things with you and show you for anybody that's interested. If you're in the Northeast, boy, batten down the hatches. This is one interesting weather phenomenon, we'll call it. All right, have a great day and stay warm.